come in front. And actually, it's okay to walk out if you're having something very emergency and stuff like that. But it feels a little disconcerting to a speaker to see empty seats, you know. Hide the empty seats from the speaker. Thank you. Thanks for. Sure. Thank you for understanding the request. A quick thing for my introduction out here, just to add on to what Dr. Sam said. I have about 14 years of experience in 3 corporates. First one is Whirlpool, which washes dirty linen in private. And next comes Lucas TVS, which is an Indian answer to auto ancillaries and charges and stuff like that. And finally, I was in Visteon, which used to be Ford Motor Company. And 2006 is when I thought I should take the message farther from the employees of Visteon, because I couldn't do a lot of talking being under the auspices of Visteon. And I've been doing this training and education and loving this and learning this for the past 16 years. I was a lead assessor for quality systems. It's like ISO 9000 type of a system, but far more advanced. For the past about 10 years. Six Sigma Academy. Six Sigma is a very nice problem-solving tool which people are slowly adopting for continuous improvement, breakthrough improvement and the like. So I've been the fortunate first crop of people to be trained in that way back, a decade back. And I love talking and listening to people. I assure you I do a fair proportion of both here. I shall talk and I shall listen to you. And I'm into full-time public speaking for the past 3 years. Okay, that's about me. And you can call me Ram, because my whole name is going to be a tongue twister. Want to try it? It is Mukundagiri Kandarai Ramanujam. Ram's better. Just the approach before we get into the basic topic of happiness at work. This is my approach. This is a wonderful thing because if you see here, teaching, and it's a very clever calligraphy, the reflection of the teaching is in learning. And when you teach, you actually learn. In fact, you learn better when you teach. So the intent of my teaching is not to impart education, which is pretty egocentric, but let me assure you, each time I teach these things, I learn better. So it is for my inner transformation I do the talking. And if somebody else gets help from that, so be it, I'm happy. But it's for me that I'm doing, and so I'm so glad that you are here to honor this occasion, to sort of trigger the thought processes, to explore into this important topic of happiness at work. Right? And let me assure you, it's pretty much open and informal, and stop me when you want, please, because I insist. Typically what happens when I started these talk sessions or interaction sessions, people generally, after the session is over, one of the young chaps raises his hands and asks him, yes, I have a question. He says, yes, I don't understand a little portion of what you said. I said, what is it? And he says, the portion after he said, good afternoon. So that won't help me, that won't help you. So stop me when you want to, and we will discuss, right? Right. And the request is, please empty your cups, which is not your water cup or tea cup, okay? This is a nice story. I took it from Far East, from Japan. It's a nice Zen story. I don't know how many of you have heard about Zen. It's a beautiful way of life. It's also a wonderful way of looking at life in a rationally different way. And I love some precepts of Zen, just like I love any other culture and spiritual path. In Zen, this is this wonderful story where a very strongly educated young chap from the West, he thought he knew it all. He goes and meets the Zen master. And he wanted to get a little bit of, as you say, ice topping on the cake which he thought he already had. And the Zen master received him with love and compassion. And the moment he saw this young chap, he knew what the problem was. This chap thought he knew everything, which was the problem. And he is here to just confirm a little bit of what he already knew with the Zen master, which doesn't work with masters. And he came inside and the master made him sit in a very low table. In yoga it is called Vajrasana, where a person sits on his knees. He sits on his knees. And here comes that young chap. He was given a very nice cup. In Japanese art, you can imagine how nice it would be, ornate cup. This chap is happy. And the master starts his small talk. What's your name? Where are you from? What have you studied? What's your belief? And the like. And he starts pouring the tea onto the cup. He goes on to pour, half full, 3/4 full, completely full. But the master does not show any signs of stopping the pouring. This chap is naturally very concerned now. So he said, sir, like you cough to catch attention. Sir, the cup is already full. The master looked at him, smiled and said, I'm glad you understood this. So is your cup. Your mind, which is the cup which needs to hold the learning, is already full. You have not left any space for me to fill anything fresh. If you want to really learn something from me, you empty this cup and come, and maybe you can learn. Maybe I can help. This is an absolute must, not only for this session. In fact, we got to empty our cup constantly to get something fresh from life. So this is an appeal, this is a request from a friend standing behind the podium. Please empty your cups. Right? I used to tell the stories to various strata of the society, right from very young friends in middle school to very old people in old age homes and retirement villages. I used to tell this story. And about 3 years back, something interesting happened. I went to a place called Hyderabad. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. It's in South India. It's a beautiful place. It's pretty close to my hometown in India. I went to a school, a middle school, and I was telling the story to the children there. Young adults, that's what they like to be called. And while I was telling this, I didn't tell them the last bit of it, which is the master's telling you have to empty your cup to learn. I stopped short, just to tease the kids, you ought to interact with them, otherwise they sleep off. Kids also sleep off in lectures. So I told them, look here, what is the moral of the story? A little girl comes. I said, wow. She says, it's a beautiful tale. I said, thank you. The moral of the story is, when the teacher speaks, don't look at the cup. Look at the teacher. I said, wow, that's pretty good. I never thought about it that way. Another kid comes up and says, a wise teacher would know the size of the cup and not try to fill more than it can hold. I said, wow. I got 17 replies from the small story. That's when these children emptied my cup. That's when I understood teaching is learning. That's when I understood when you teach, you have to be more careful than when you learn. That's when I'm completely opened out by that little child. He was my master talking in the little form. And that's what I request you. Because that's what I do. Each session I empty my cup to look for something new. And yesterday in the other Shasta, there was another firm where Dr. Sam works. A lady beautifully defined stress for me, which I'm going to tell you, which I've learned, which is a precious learning. You read through 10 books, you get those 2 lines, which I got from a person unwittingly. She was my teacher yesterday. And all of you are in the same token. So, this is my request, just a simple, humble request. Please empty your cup and let's get on. Wisdom is available to you when you are available to wisdom. As simple as that. Wisdom was always available to us, but we are not always available to it. Which means if we are already having other preoccupations in the mind, when some really fundamental, profound, important, critical truth knock the doors of our consciousness, we are not available. Opportunity may knock twice, I don't know. But wisdom knock once. But it keeps on knocking, no problem. When we are open to it, it is completely revealed to us. So, I request you all to be available here. For 1 hour, if you are completely present here, it's worth the time for me, for you. Right? I wrote this word cool because I started that in India.